Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Today we are doing conditional sentences. Now, conditional sentences are very important from the examination point of view, especially for translating. While translating from Urdu to English, you need conditional sentences. Secondly, while attempting correction of errors, mostly you are tested on conditional sentences. So this lesson is going to help you understand what are conditional sentences, where should we use them, and their form. How are they formed? So let's begin. Now, conditional sentences or conditional tenses are used to speculate about what could happen, what might have happened, and what we wish would happen. So it includes or it covers all these aspects. Now, there are basically three types of conditional sentences, girls. First is called zero conditional. Second is first, then second, and the last one is the third condition sentences. Now, what are zero conditional sentences? Now, zero conditional sentences are those sentences which talk about things which are true in general. For example, the TV comes on if you press the button. Now, here you can't deny it. If you press the button, what will happen? The consequence would be the TV comes on. And as I had told you earlier about conditional sentences, the conditional sentences consist of two parts. First part, one part is called conditional sentence and or conditional clause, which contains the condition that is to be fulfilled, and the other is called the resultant clause, the consequence clause. Okay, so if clause contains the condition that if fulfilled, the resultant clause would contain the result of that action. Then, if you heat water to 100 Celsius, it boils. Okay, if you heat water to 100 Celsius, it boils. If you heat ice, it melts. If you don't water plants, they die. Then there are more examples. If it rains, the washing doesn't dry. If it doesn't rain, the flower don't grow. So what is the form of the zero condition? Form is if clause with simple tense in the simple tense plus if clause in the resultant clause. So you use basically present simple for both clauses, that is main and if clause. So I hope you got it. So let's move on to the next slide. Now, in zero conditional sentences, you will come across sometimes with the word when instead of if. Now, in such situations, students, there is nothing to worry or bother about because in zero conditional sentences, we use both if and when interchangeably because they contain the same idea. Now, here is the example. If people smoke cigarettes, their lungs are in jeopardy. When people smoke cigarettes, their lungs are in jeopardy. The meaning is the same. That's why it makes no difference if you use if or when in the conditional clause of zero conditional sentence. Okay, so conditional sentence, which is the zero conditional sentence, basically talks about something that is generally true, something that is always true. Okay, so it's very easy to recognize and it is very easy to construct, as we have seen on the examples on the previous slide. Now, here is some practice for you. Now, the incorrect sentence I have written down over here for you. It says, if you don't brush your teeth regularly, you will get cavities. Now, why it is incorrect? Because it has used will in the resultant clause. We have learned that the form of the zero conditional sentence or in zero conditional sentence, we use simple present tense in both the clauses. So if this clause contains simple present tense, then over here it should also have been simple present tense. The correction: if you don't brush your teeth regularly, you get cavities. Got it? Okay. Then when people will smoke cigarettes, their lungs are in jeopardy. Yeah. Again, will should not have been used in the conditional clause. It should have been when people smoke cigarettes, their lungs are in jeopardy. Yeah. So the form is if plus present simple plus will plus infinitive or present simple and sorry. So it is its form is simple. Its form is on the previous. Yeah, its form is present simple for both clauses, main and if clause. Got it, girls? Okay. Next is the first conditional, and this first conditional sentence, as it is here, it talks about something that is real or possible. Now, what is it? What is its form? Its form is if plus present simple plus will plus infinitive or present simple plus future. Now it is used for possible present or future consequences. The future that has it is used for something that has not yet happened, but it is possible to happen. For example, if she invites me, I will go to her party. Over here, right now, the invitation has not been given to the speaker, and there is a possibility that he will get the invitation. So, if he gets the invitation, if she invites him, he will go to the party. So, if she invites me, I will go to her party. Then, if I see her, I'll tell her. The speaker thinks it's possible in the future that he might see her. So, if I see her, I'll tell her. Then, I'll go shopping on the way home if I have time. Again, the speaker will go for shopping on the way back from his office, maybe, if he has time. Okay, so it is possible, but it is not sure or it is not yet certain that he will do so. First condition sentence, students, is also used for persuasion. For example, I'll take children to party if you collect them from school. So if you collect children from school, I will take them to the party. Then another important thing about these conditional sentences, in conditional sentences, we can use if clause anywhere at the beginning of the sentence, or in the middle, or at the end of the sentence. Beginning or the end of the sentence. Okay. Moreover, first conditional sentence, which talks about some real or possible situation. In first conditional sentence, we use present simple, present continuous, and present perfect tense in the if clause. Now, girls, just have a look over here at the examples. If I play football, I will be happy. Okay. Now, in the if clause, here we have used simple present tense. If I play football, what will be the consequence? The resultant clause is I will be happy. Then, if I'm playing football, I will be sweaty. So, it is in the if clause is in the if clause we have used present continuous tense. If I'm playing football, and the resulting clause declares the result, I will be sweaty. Then, if I have played football, I will be tired. If clause contains, in an if clause, we have used present perfect tense. And the resulting clause, I will be tired. So, in first conditional sentence, you can use any tense, present simple, present continuous, or present perfect tense in the if clause. Got it, girls? Okay, let's move on to the next point. This is where we can use double will in first conditional sentences. What does it mean? It means we can use will both in the main clause and in the conditional clause of the first conditional sentence. Okay, and it is usually done when we do so. It is usually done when the speaker is insistent or irritated about something. For example, if you keep parking incorrectly, you will get fired. Okay, see, conditional clause contains will, and the resultant clause or the main clause also has this will. So we can use will in both the clauses in first conditional. If you will keep parking incorrectly, you'll get fired. Got it? Now, first conditional sentence can have different formality levels. We can make conditional sentence more formal by using should instead of if, and by using not instead of don't. Here are the examples. Should I not see you? I'll call you. Okay, if I don't see you, I'll call you has been replaced by this sentence. Should I not see you? I'll call you. So I'll call you if I don't see you. Similarly, should I get this correct? I'll get 20 points. I'll get 20 points if I get this correct. Got it? So to enhance, to improve the formality of a sentence, conditional first conditional sentence, you replace if by should, and instead of in negative sentences, use not instead of don't. Now, here are a few examples of incorrect use of first conditional in a sentence. If you study well for tomorrow's examination, you get a higher score. Now, where's the mistake? If you study well for tomorrow's examination, you will get a high score. The will was missing. Okay, if you study well for tomorrow's examination, it is in present simple tense. If you study well for tomorrow's examination, if clause in present simple tense, then the main clause is in the main clause we have used will plus the main verb or the implement. Take note, the first sentence above is showcasing a zero conditional sentence. It looks correct, however, the idea of the sentence is showing unwarranted possibility. So it falls to type 1 rather than zero conditional. Hence, the main clause should use will in its sentence. Furthermore, the if clause should always be in the simple present tense form of the sentence. Next, you will do it perfectly if you would practice your poem. Or if students will listen to their teachers, they will eventually learn. This is the second sentence. Now, what are the correction of these sentences? Let's do it correctly. Now, you will do it perfectly if you practice your poem. So here, it is the first conditional sentence. If you practice your poem, you will do it perfectly. Okay, there's a possibility that you practice the poem. You have not practiced the poem right now, but if you practice the poem correctly, give it a proper time, recited it properly, learned it by heart or whatever preparation you are supposed to do of the poem, you will do it perfectly. So the correct form will be this one. So would should not be used word here. Similarly, if students listen to their teacher, they will eventually learn. Now, double wills are allowed, but to show irritation and to show or to show insistence of the speaker. Now here, neither of these two things are in mind of the speaker. So if students listen to the teacher, they will eventually learn. So students will eventually learn if they listen to their teachers. So students are it's possible for the students to listen to the teacher. So it is a real possibility. It is possible for the students to pass, to learn, and they can do it if they listen to their teachers. I hope you have understood the first conditional sentences as well. Now let's move to the second conditional sentences. Now second conditional sentences are used for unlikely and impossible things, for something that is unlikely or impossible. It is used for hypothetical or highly unlike present or future situations. How? Let's learn it with example. If I won a lot of if I won a lot of money, I would buy a big house. Now the speaker is talking about a hypothetical future and future result. And this future is unlikely. That's why he has used if I won a lot of money, I would buy a big house. Let's go to the next example. If it wasn't so cold, I would go for a walk. Now, hypothetical present, right now it is really very cold. Similarly, as in the previous, the speaker hasn't earned a lot of money, so in the future he could not buy a big house. Similarly, right now the weather is really cold, and it is a hypothetical situation which the speaker is talking about. If it wasn't so cold, I would go for a walk, and immediately he would have gone out for a walk. When at present, he would have gone out. If I had his number, I would call him. So I don't have his number, so I don't call him. Okay, so it is unlikely that the speaker over here would get a big house because he thinks it's unlikely for him to have a lot of money in the future. It is it is unlikely for this person to walk because it is so very cold right now. It is unlikely for him to call him because he hasn't got his number. Now, telephone number, cell number. Now, what is the form of second conditional? It is if plus past simple plus word plus verb, which is usually infinitive. And we can use any past tense in the main clause. Okay, in the main clause, we can use any past tense. Okay, so in second condition, all the students you are talking about present or future, but it uses past simple. For example, when you are talking about the present, how will you be using second condition? You will say, if he didn't deny me so much, I would spend more time in office. Now, I would spend more time in office if he didn't deny me so much. So what the speaker is doing, she is not spending more time in office. Why? Because he denies the officer or her colleague denies him much. So the speaker says it as impossible that you will not deny her. Then talking about the future, if I got an invitation, I would go there right away. Now, the speaker sees it as impossible or highly unlikely that he will get an invitation. Now remember, if she invites me, I will go to her party. There, in that sentence, you can compare these two sentences. Let's write that sentence over here. If I get invitation, I get invitation, I will go there. Now, what's the difference? Well, the difference is the speaker over here in this sentence. The speaker is talking about an hypothetical or unlikely situation. Okay, now, if he does not think that he will get an invitation. So it is a hypothetical future. Then he's talking about he will go right away. Here, there is a possibility. First condition is a possibility that the speaker will get the invitation. So he will go. One I was missing over here. So he will go to the. He will go to the. He will go the party. Okay, so when you are certain about something, when something is possible, then you use first condition. And when something is unlikely to happen, you use second condition. Got it, girls? Okay. Let's move on to the next slide. In if clause, we often use were instead of was. Now, in second condition, we often use were instead of was. You have often heard of certain sentences like this: if I were you, I would make an appointment to see the doctor. And you have wondered why were is used over here. If I am you, why it was not used like that? Yeah, if I was you, why it is not used like that? Now, the answer is in these conditional sentences, we use were. It is more appropriate to use were. So it is again an unlikely situation. You can't be him or her. If I were you, I could make an appointment to see the doctor. Now here are there is some practice for you. If I had one wish, I shall wish for an unlimited supply of gold. Now, if I had one wish, this is the condition, and that condition is in the past tense. If I had one wish, I shall wish for an unlimited supply of gold. So it should have been in the it should have been in the past tense from the modal verb. That would be I would have wish that is I might wish for an unlimited supply of gold. If he inherited the $1 billion, he will buy an island and would sleep in a bed of money. If he inherited the $1 billion, he would buy an island and would sleep in a bed of money. Okay, so don't use the present tense in the if clause because the present tense form of sentences connotes general facts and apply the simple past tense in the if clause. Then, if she wins lottery, she will travel the world. It should be if she won the lottery, she will travel the world. Moving on. So usually we tend to use will instead of the modals to the sentences because it sounds right. However, use a modal auxiliary verb in the main clause when using the second conditional mood to express uncertainty that the action or the result will actually happen. Now, if she won the lottery, she will travel the world. It should be she would travel the world. So I hope you have understood the first conditional, second conditional sentence, and as you have learned, the second conditional sentence is about unlikely or impossible situation. Is used for unlikely or impossible situation and their results. Okay. Then moving on to the third condition, that is about which describes the past or something that did not happen and that often expresses regret. For example, I would have lost weight if I hadn't eaten so much. Now here it is a regret, you can say, the speaker is expressing for getting overweight. She hasn't lost any weight because she hadn't met with this condition. She had been eating much, and that's why she fails to lose weight. So I would have lost weight if I hadn't eaten so much. Similarly, if I had gone to the bed earlier, I would have woken up in time to catch the train. Okay, so the speaker has not slept earlier last night, and in the morning he got up late, and he got late for the bus, and he missed the bus. So it is third conditional sentence, which is about something which didn't happen. Now, what is the form of the of this third conditional? Its form is if plus past perfect plus would have plus past participle. Okay, let's do another two more examples. If I had gone to the party, I would have seen my friends. So, if the speaker had gone to the party, which he hadn't done, he would have seen his friends. Okay, which he couldn't do so because he hadn't met the condition. Okay, he is too late for it now. So if I had gone to the party, I would have seen my friends. He missed the opportunity. Another thing is, again, if could be in if clause could be in the beginning or at the end of the sentence. Now, I would have seen my friends if I had gone to the party. It would mean the same thing. Moreover, you can use other models instead of would. Like you can use can, could, may, or might. For example, if I hadn't studied harder at school, I would have gone to the university. Or you could say, if we hadn't worked so hard, we could have passed our deadline. If I hadn't studied harder at school, I could have gone to the university. So you can use any other model words instead of would in the condition in this. Now, I might be able to do it on time if you bought the requirement yesterday. If you had studied harder, you would have passed the examination. Now, what are the corrections? Now, if I might be able to do it on time if you bought the requirements yesterday. Okay, so I might be able to do it on time if you bought the requirements yesterday, and if you could have had studied harder, you would have passed the examination. If you had, so what is the correction? If you had studied harder, past perfect, you would have passed the examination. Okay, then in addition, the third conditional sentences are expressing situations in the past that could have happened when certain conditions have been met. As a result, we use moral auxiliary, verb plus have plus the past participle to show the value. So here this is the repetition of the form. Now, if you had given me your letter address, I would write to you. It's incorrect. If what's the correct, what is missing over here? Have is missing. If because the form of the condition is would have. So if you had given me your letter address, I would have written to you. I would buy you a present if I had known it was your birthday. Again, have is missing. I would have bought you a present if I had known it was your birthday. The speaker did not know that it was the birthday of a friend, and therefore she would buy a present for her. And now it's too late. She's there in her party, and she's regretting that if she had known it was the birthday of her friend, then she would have bought a present for her. Now, another important thing is punctuation of conditional sentences. Now, we use punctuations, punctuation mark, that is comma, to punctuate conditional sentence. Okay, and we use a comma after the if clause when the if clause precedes the main clause. If I had time, comma, I would have cleaned the house. Full stop. But if the main clause precedes the if clause, we don't use any punctuation. For example, I would have cleaned the house if I had time. So if I had time, I would have cleaned the house. You'll use the comma in between the two clauses. But if you use I would have cleaned the house if I had time, will not use any comma between the clauses. And it's very important. You must remember it. It is very important from the point of view of making your writings clear to the readers. Now here I have written down or mixed up conditional sentences for you to identify. Now, if you didn't smoke, you dash feel a lot better. What would it be? If you didn't, if you did not smoke, you like feel a lot better. Then, if it's sunny tomorrow, we like go to the beach. If she had gone to the university, yeah, she like found a really good job. And if it snows, traveling dash more difficult. So let's do from over here. If it snows, traveling is more difficult. That is zero condition. If she had gone to the university, she would have found a really good job. Third condition. If it's sunny tomorrow, we'll go to the beach. If you didn't smoke, you will feel a lot better. You might feel a lot better. You might feel a lot better. Okay. So I hope that you have understood these conditional sentences, and this is all for today.